Hello, my name's Olive and I'm from One Church. I have a book. It's called Choose Life, 365 Readings for Radical Disciples by Simon Guillebaud. I think that's how you say it, which I absolutely love. Every day there is one or sometimes two verses and a commentary, and the comments are always challenging and thought-provoking. Now the verses for the 3rd of August are from Job, and the headline is Sigh of Sadness or Breathless Expectation. Job was stripped of everything, his loved ones, his wealth, his health, and yet he was still able to say, I know that my Redeemer lives, and that in the end he will stand on the earth, and in my flesh I will see God. Simon Guillebaud comments that most of us like to keep everything under our control, to try and master the unpredictable. But the fact is we can't, because life is unpredictable, and has certainly proved to be over the last few months. I'm old enough to remember the great storm which hit the south of England in 1987. 15 million trees were felled by its ferocity. Kew Gardens alone lost over 700 trees, and many of them were old, treasured specimens. One tree, called Turner's Oak, which was about 200 years old, survived. It had been lifted up, put down again by the storm, slightly tilted as it landed, and was at an angle. So the guys at Kew Gardens pushed it back in as best they could, propped it up, and for safety they left it for 3 years while the rest of the felled trees were cut up and cleared. After 3 years they went back, and to their amazement, Turner's Oak was flourishing. It was a picture of health. Apparently, compaction caused by constant footfall had meant many of the trees were suffering. But when Turner's Oak was lifted up and put back down, its roots shaken, and then left to its own devices, its ability to absorb more water and oxygen was increased, and it still stands today. Out of unprecedented destruction caused by the Great Storm, a new era in the management of trees was developed, including machinery for soil injection and air cultivation. The Great Storm was unprecedented and not really predicted. Thank you, Michael Fish. It caused much damage, destruction and loss of life, and yet some good came from it, a greater understanding of how to look after trees and keep them healthy and stable. Job also said, when he has tested me, I will come forth as gold. In Romans we read, in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who've been called according to his purpose. In James we hear of that the testing of our faith produces perseverance. And in 1 Corinthians, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Let's trust God, seek his presence, daily commit our way to him. And as Simon Guillebaud says in his commentary, let's have a sense of breathless expectation and not a sigh of sadness about the future.